So, you're in this new movie called SpongeBob, right?
Yeah.
All right. What is your cast? Like, who's your character you play as?
Well, you see, I am actually Patrick because I was seen as a, dumber character amongst everyone in my crew. And then, Pearl is actually played by Angelina Jolie. And I'm not sure why this was the choice of Pearl.
It's a weird choice.
Yeah, I didn't really think it made sense. And then, Sandy is actually played by Kate Upton, who, it was one interesting thing to see Sandy played by Kate Upton portrayed as that character. And then you just kind of meet everyone on the cast, like, Squidward was played by the same guy who played the Grinch. And, in this movie, I think it really fit him well because he kind of knew that character. Yes, thank you. I could not remember it. He's played by Jim Carrey, and he really portrayed Squidward well. And the rest of the cast, I think, just did an amazing job as their characters.
All right. If you don't mind giving some information, spoiler alert. Anything with this movie that you think you will get good reception or maybe negative response from the fans of SpongeBob, because obviously they do have a loyal fan group. It's been going as long as Family Guy, which obviously is a better show, but it's a kid's cartoon versus an adult cartoon, so I don't know if that's a fair comparison.
Yeah, I think Family Guy obviously appeals to a much larger audience, because past like the age of 10, obviously no one really cares that much about SpongeBob. Yeah, it's a classic, but no one's going to sit down and watch it like they used to.
Yeah, I don't watch it anymore.
Family Guy still brings like a great laughter, but I believe there are some key points to this movie that will make kids and adults enjoy it. There are some hidden maybe adult jokes in there, which I'm not going to say obviously because I don't want to spoil anything, or I don't want to bring that out on the air because it is a little bit inappropriate for a PG type of interview.
Yeah, this is a GSTV interview. We have to be the most PG we can. Any bad words, you better put that $5 in the swear jar.
Yes, they've raised the price. It used to be $2 last year. It's not $5.
Well, it was $5 last year.
It was?
Yeah.
Was I here last year?
I don't know. Were you?
I was filming a movie.
Oh yeah. My bad. But so, do you think there's any mistakes with the casting? Like, I understand you said it's a weird option, but do you think they chose a bad actor for Mr. Krabs, or maybe even like if they chose an actor for Gary, or they're using sound effects? I'm not quite sure.
You see, Plankton is played by the Great Khali, and I believe this is a very strange choice of character because Plankton, being only inches tall in the actual show, is played by a 7-foot+ guy who's just a monstrous being and who towers over everyone. But in post, they made him look like a tiny little guy. And
Power of editing.
Yeah, it was strange. I thought it was such a bad idea seeing how big he was in comparison, but then I saw him, he was the size of like my foot in the actual.
That is very intriguing. I am going to come up with a few questions off the top. Anything like that's bothering you with the crew or anything that makes you just be like, wow, that's not very nice. Don't do that again.
Yeah, the Great Khali put his hand around Angelina Jolie's head and just picked her up by one hand. And I was like, what? Why are you doing this? And it's because she took the last bag of purple Doritos in the lunch line. And I believe this was a very rude act that was committed by the Great Khali. And Angelina Jolie was heavily injured by this, but she still was able to squeeze into her Pearl costume.
All right, folks. This seemed to have died from laughter. I'm sorry. This might be the end of the interview.
All right, no, I'm good.
All right. I got 2 more questions for you. Okay.
All right.
Since obviously they assume you're the dumber character for Patrick, has that affected you anyway? Like, you feel less significant as the others, or are you just going to embrace this Patrick role and do it for the meme because obviously it's an important character?
He is the kind of like the second main character of the show, obviously besides SpongeBob, who of course is just kind of portrayed by Tom Kenny, the original role of SpongeBob, which made sense in my opinion. I think it's only right that he was so loyal to the show that he did that role, and I think it's honestly an honor to be put at such a high spot on such a great movie being made in this day and age. Even though I may be seen as a dumber character, it's whatever. He's one of the best characters in SpongeBob.
Right? Okay. This is my final question. Obviously, there's been 2 other SpongeBob movies. That animated one and then the one where they get out of water. Is there something about this movie that sets them off from the 2? Is it like a sequel to the SpongeBob Out of Water, or is it just a completely different story, just having fun?
It's more like a completely different story with like, as you may know, the plot of the story is about Squidward's clarinet getting stolen, him not having the motivation, so SpongeBob and Patrick must go actually take the clarinet back. So it's kind of like the plot of the original SpongeBob movie, except it's not really a life or death sentence. It's more like just kind of like a fun little adventure they go on. They meet different types of creatures along the way, and
Excuse me, camera guy, that is very rude of you. If you ever do that again, I will fire you and make sure you can never feed your family again. Do you understand me?
I will pack a lip and spit into your lip just to have that much grossness inside of your mouth. Anyway, so
I'm sorry, the camera guy's just being rude.
yeah. So, anyways, I believe what was the question again?
God, I don't even remember.
I think the live action.
Oh yeah, what was the plot that separates it from the other 2 SpongeBob movies? I'm sorry, this camera guy. What are you zooming in on, sir? Sir,
I'm not zooming in.
be a good camera guy. Like,
I'm not zooming in.
All right.
do you want
Shut
your
up.
paycheck? Do you want to get paid? Do you want to feed your family that I know is starving?
We clearly see by your body structure your family is starving. So anyway, the live action definitely brings in a new type of idea to the SpongeBob movie. From what it used to be a cross between live action and animation with the second one, now it's just all live action with all the characters played by real life people. I think that brings something to the table, which some people may frown upon, but I think in the long run it's going to be a successful movie, and I'm glad they did it to step out of their comfort zone. Obviously, regular SpongeBob will always be animated, and it should always be animated just to keep that that idea of nostalgia with the SpongeBob. Like, you know,
All right.
environment.
All right, listen. I know you need the food. I can definitely tell from how scrawny you are. I know I have no room to talk. I do have a decent amount of money where I can feed myself. I just have a very high metabolism.
I just don't feed myself.
Yeah, I don't need that money for that. Listen, if you don't stop this, I swear on everything that is created equally in just, I don't even know where I'm going with this.
I've got an idea.
Okay, listen. Do you think this interview is over?
Do you have any more questions?
No, but I have a statement. Should we cut his pay in half, which is only $7?
I think we should cut it even more than that. Maybe we should cut it 3/4, where you're only getting 1/4 of what he used to gain.
All right, have fun getting $1.
Bitch. Cut it.
All right, that's it.